Yep. And we live. I don't know if that last one went through. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that, man. But yeah, man. Finna talk about this craziness. Oh man, what we doing, bro? Like, where's the knowledge? What are we giving to these other guys? Man, you got men in their 40s. You can tell when you listen to the panel. These guys probably in their 50s, even in the 30s, all the way down to these teenagers that we trying to help. What are we relaying to these guys? You know, tricking off, going overseas, just to trick off. I mean, by all means, like I say, if guys got the money, you go over there, you can get the women. You good. You got the money. You want a certain type of woman. You got the money. You paying for it. But for the dudes who don't have the money, these guys in a pinch. And don't get it twisted. Some places you can go over there where the prostitution is legal. Go over there and get your some. You on point. You ain't got to worry about all the craziness and all that stuff. Make sure you scrap up. That's one. Prostitute in another country ain't no different than a prostitute in America. You could get you an STD. So no raw dog. But like this passport gate guys, like I said, if these guys doing that, by all means, man, that's on you, man. I'm not hating on you. But that can't be the only reason why you going over there messing with the chicks. Go over there, sightsee, man. Go over there. Don't spend all your money on the women. Hey, other people not even gonna have this moment in time to go over to Brazil, check out the landmarks, go over to the Dominicano or the Republican to, go over there and look at the tourism spots over there, some great landmarks. When it come down to it, man, a lot of guys in their 40s and 50s, it ain't even just about game. They don't know how to talk to ladies. I hear it on these panels, man. Sometimes I ain't trying to shame no dudes, man. But if you don't know, you don't know. Seek help, man. Try to get somebody that help you be able to get over that fear of talking to women. BGS even said it to the point where a lot of guys who are afraid to talk to women go work for a call center. You know, the biggest thing about talking to women is rejection. A lot of young guys, even older guys, are afraid of rejection. You know, when it come down to it, you got to get your feet wet at some point. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep sitting on the edge of the pool forever thinking that the water's too cold. You got to get out there. And the best way for some people to do, just cannonball and jump right on in. You know, you don't want to get to your 50s and still have these what if moments. You know, that's one of the series that I'll be talking about with helping the bear. You know, the bear's life. You got to experience life. You can't sit in this shell and think everything's going to come to you. You might have a pops didn't teach you this. You know, you might don't have enough swag or whatever people want to call it, a game to actually get out there. Hang around enough old people, man, you'll learn something. But don't hang around just one old person. Don't hang around too many of these knucklehead old guys. Every time I see an older guy that sags over 40, I'm gonna even say over 35, even over 30. You need to go give yourself to the Lord. I'm just gonna say that up front, man. What's going on, T? What's going on? Perfect timing, man. I'm out here just like, dude. I don't understand. Like, you this old sagging. It's basically these younger kids are teaching you the game instead of you teaching them the game. You know, like what's going on, man? Then we got out here, you know, this whole, being a man thing that because I'm a man, I can do certain things. I could talk to a woman a certain way. I can be this way to a, nah, man, cut it out. Nah, cut it out. Just because you're a man, you can rule over who will let you rule over them. Cause just know for a fact that that king always have it in the back of his head that all his loyal subjects can turn on him at any given time. And to be a ruthless tyrant that, kind of trolls and parades over the people, it comes with a cost. You gotta always be watching over your back. I mean, I don't want to throw this in the mix, but that Tyler Perry movie that the man was treating the lady wrong, even though Tyler Perry be doing them all videos for the women, but to the point where that man was doing that lady wrong and she was able to turn the tides on him and start treating him wrong. You got that. You rule over your woman. You kind of get at her a certain way and talk to her and call her stupid and everything. And let's say you get hurt on the job and now you can't work, you know, and you might have some issues. Say your thing ain't working right. Well, you can't hit it like you want. You got to go get some medicine to be good. She controlled the hell out of you, you know. All them years you up there putting her in the corner, calling her stupid and everything because she ain't doing what you want right. First of all, why are you dealing with a woman like that? For control, right? Because you know you can manipulate her mind. Yeah, I get it. It's too much of a challenge to deal with somebody that that's pretty smart. And by all means, if you want to deal with a girl that's an airhead, or if you want to do that to control her, that's your boat. But you can't get mad at the results. It's just like I say, I help my wife cook and stuff. I appreciate her for cooking, and clean up a little around the house. I don't clean up a whole lot. I be tired. Be working my ass off. But when it come down to it, I'm not around there, telling her she better clean and she better cook every night. She better do this every night. I'm not down there, ruthlessly jumping down her throat, but just letting her know, you know, you need to cook. We're not spending all this money on going to no restaurants. We're not going out to eat. Every now and then it's a treat thing to, go out to eat because for one, you gotta understand, if you got kids, that's extra money. And then when there is extra money being paid out, somebody gotta foot that bill. And most women in this case, they'll be like, well, I'll go ahead and just pay because I don't want to cook tonight. Let's say 2, maybe 3 days down the line, a bill pop up, $80 unexpected. Both of y'all waiting to get paid on Friday. But the $80 that you spent going out to eat because you didn't budget, that might be the key, you know. And when it come down to it, you know, like I say, you got to pick your struggle, you know. And a lot of men, like I say, I'm not trying to shame them brothers, but you gotta pick your struggle. Learn how to talk to women. I can hear it in some of guys' voices, you know, they done got played for a fool by these women because they don't know, pretty much a lot of these women are running the game. The whole situation where you meet a chick, and we heard about this a lot to where you want to save a little money, you move in with the chick, you know, by all means, like I say, if you like it, I love it. I'm not judging too much, but you gotta look at the cost of that. When it come down to it, she just hop out and get mad and move. If you were pretty much kind of, depending on her income to actually help you pay for that apartment or lease or whatever house that you have, and that money's not there, guess what? You got to move, you know? So, as that standpoint, you need to be in a relationship with somebody to the point where you're not living above your means. One of the houses I got qualified for was, well over 250, I believe, and everything. Maybe even more, but I know close. I think the guy says around 250. I can get a house, around 250 or more, depending on how I want to do, because I have to show all the funds and everything. But the pre-approval was around that. I chose to get a house cheaper than that due to the fact I didn't want to live above my means. I knew that I could pay that mortgage with me and my wife's income, but take into account that, say my wife lose her job. Let's say I lose my job. Are we still able to maintain that house and the utilities and cable insurance, even if we have a car note and somewhat all else? See, a lot of people don't think about this stuff. You know, you go out here, you get the nicest house you can get, and something happens. Now you gotta, oh man, we downsizing. Nah, just don't upsize from the get go. Get something that's decent. Get something that you can pay the bills. Because when it comes down to it, everybody wants the nice 4 or 5 bedroom house with the picket fence, the 3, 4 car garage, a 2 car garage, and everything. But all that stuff come with a price, and men got to know how to budget things. As men, like I say, if we the men that supposed to be controlling the household, we're gonna be the men that actually budget everything. You know, we can have our wives run the budget, but still, you need to go over it with her, and you guys know it together. Not saying that you're ruling over her, but the point of it is, anything that's going on with the budget, you should have some awareness of, to the extent to where some get cut off. Hey, then she don't need to handle the budget no more, because if you're letting lights get cut off, water get cut off because you forgot to pay, that's one time too many. You know, let's say you work from home, you forgot to pay the internet bill. Well, she forgot to pay the internet bill, and it get cut off. Maybe she don't need to be able to bill, considering that she work from home. Same thing with you. If you forget to pay a bill, the same regard to you. Maybe you don't need to be over the bills because you might have a forgetful mind, or you just slipped up that one time. That one time can be too many. Maybe she might be better with the bills. And if both of you guys are horrible with the bills, that means both of y'all need to get it together. Like I said, I've set up an actual email. I've set up a family email to where all the bills can go in the family email. I've set up a budget on the calendar of that family email, to where if we have doctor's appointments, we put them on that family email. Doing things for the kids, different kind of little award ceremonies or dentist appointments, all that go on that family email. My wife has it linked to her phone. I have it linked to my phone. I also have another account in which we both share within that family email, and as well, even with the bank account, we have a bank account where we can debit everything into one account. She has access to the account, and so do I, and we can debit everything to that one account, and everything will be fine. you know to where if she need money, she can transfer it over to that account. If I need money, I mean, if she need money, I can transfer it over, and vice versa. you know it makes it easier. There's this Mint budget app. Getting back into that because when you actually, I mean, banks do it too. I've got PNC and they do it as well. They do the spending budget wheel, but Met was pretty good too. Excuse me now, but to the extent to where you're actually setting up a budget. Let's say you want to save some money for something, put it in the budget. Let's say you need to, do some other things, like pay bills and make sure all the bills or credit card is due, make sure that's getting paid. Put it in the budget. I'm actually in the process of going back to doing monthly family meetings because, there's some more things added to the budget, like my kids tutoring, actually bought laptops, so got to pay them off with my credit card. That's gonna have to go into the budget, and we're gonna have to sit down and discuss far as the extra money that I'm putting back into the pot to where things are gonna be adjusted to where these business that we're trying to implement that we're starting because I'm revamping. COVID shut down one of my business, so I'm gonna have to revamp and do something else. You know, the wheel has to continue moving. You know, and like I said with the series of helping the bear, I'm not gonna try to let the bear get control of me. The bear being life, somebody better help that bear because I'm gonna do what I need to do. Life not gonna get the best of me. You know, and it comes down to it. I know it's tough, but I'm prepared for the fight. And that's what I'm trying to implement a lot of stuff with these younger guys, even older gentlemen. When it come down to it, a lot of older gentlemen, same thing, man. You got to prepare yourself for the fight of life. You haven't done the right things over the years, man. You didn't get that chick you want and all that stuff. So what, man? Get her now. Prepare yourself for the fight. And that's like the biggest thing that I hear in this space, man. Like a situation where you have a lot of guys are mad that these women are choosing the women that you want. She's choosing the bad boys. Hey, don't hate. Step your game up. That's all I got to say. When it come down to it, man, you got to have this focused mind, man, to where if you want something, you got to go out there and get it. Can't let nobody control your outcome. You have to go out there and get it. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. You know, ain't no way around that. And just like I said, when it comes down to a nice young lady that a man wants, compared to the guys who educated and going somewhere and doing something that not too pleasable to the women, compared to the guys that the women do like, you got to look at it like this. Both of those gentlemen like a nice car. Nobody wants to drive a Pinto. Everybody likes a nice car. So comparing that woman to being a nice car with all the bells and whistles, you have to look at it like this. What are you willing to sacrifice and what are you willing to do to get the nice car? But ultimately, don't get the nice car with the high note. Because if you're getting those pretty women, you know, some of them come with a high note. You're going to have to do more maintenance. You got to spend more on her. You got to take that in consideration. A lot of women, some women are needy when it comes to that situation. They're gonna want you to provide and do a lot of things for them. So you got to take account. You know, even a lot of older men. Same thing with you. I mean, you probably didn't learn this when you were young, and instead of on here red pill rage about women, hey, learn it now. You know, and I'm gonna start opening panels and start letting guys come up. They can hide the avatar and hide the name and just come up under another name. I don't care. But the whole point, I want you to come up there and talk so we can get some things out. If you say that you can't get a woman, why not? Because the same way I do with the women, let them come up and talk. you'll start learning the issues in which a lot of women have is, their selfish mindset. If they can get a lot of that selfish mindset off and to the extent to where, they start thinking about others as well, they'll be good. Men, same thing with them. A lot of men got a selfish mindset, just like women. They want what they want. They want that pretty girl. They don't care what nobody else say. I want her. I don't want the other girl. I want her. You know, and that's the fade when it comes to a lot of this situation, man. We got to focus on not just the game aspect, man. It kills me. But we got to focus, man, on doing things right, man. Working with each other. A lot of the brothers that really don't can't talk to women. Hey, it's about you trying to learn. You know, sit on the panel and listen to some guys talk and be at rage because you can't get the woman you like. It don't change nothing at the end of the day. You know, like I said, we have a lot of older men that's in this space that ain't going after what they want. You know, even the younger men, same thing. Y'all gotta learn, man. It's the rule of engagement. This is the game. What the old players used to say, the game is to be sold, not told. You know, a lot of people don't want to. A lot of people don't want to put in the work and pay for the game. You know, and it kills me in this space, man. I just hear so many guys, and you can tell, man. All the real dudes, that kind of move around. We know that a lot of guys are lacking, the fundamentals and talking to women and stuff. They lacking that. You got some guys that's lacking, the aspect of the charm, I guess. You get your game together, man. Dress well, get you a nice job, take care of yourself, man, and focus on the women after you get yourself together. You know, my biggest thing that I always like to push is knowledge of self, man. Knowledge of self is knowing who you are, and what you want out of life. Because if you're gonna get a wife, you gotta know pretty much those things when it come down to it. Your wife is gonna be in position to come with you on a journey. And if you don't know where you going, she gonna take you on a journey with her. So to be honest, you should know where you be going. You should be knowing where you're going so you guys can go together. Preferably you're leading. Because trust me, when a man doesn't know his purpose and what he wants to do with his life, you gotta understand. Nobody's gonna be walking through the woods with you alone. They're gonna go out and guide you out of the woods. If you can't guide yourself, they'll guide you. And in most cases, if a person that don't know what they're doing and you don't know what you're doing, both of you guys are just gonna be walking the forest together. So you're gonna have to come to the realization of that, of opening your eyes and learning some things. Yeah, man, as it stand, I'm out here still trying to get to this money. Um, Waiting on some people to come open this gate. Keep hearing somebody like open the gate. Think it's somewhere else. But yeah, man, when it come down to it, man, hey, a lot of these guys, man, we gotta do better, man. We gotta stop pushing these fake, false narratives, man. Letting these guys come on the I mean, sometimes you kind of let guys get it off and stuff, but a lot of times you hear the faking it, man. Some guys, you just it's book smarts. It's a guy in the space. I listen to him, man. This guy got so much book smarts, but I'm just listening to him and trying to figure when is he gonna apply that to life? When are you gonna apply that to life? I mean, you got book smarts. You can tell me the art of macking. You can tell me, you know, power versus force to understand the mind, understand the body and the heart, the intriguing of the feminine energy of women. But then you don't have a woman because why? You're book smart. You don't apply what you read. Oh man, gotta look at this quote because I don't want to misquote it, and it is a good one. I was on the brother Dr. Dunbar's channel, and can you hear me? Okay, I just want to make sure because he had a quote. It says, "Smart people answer questions. Intelligent people apply information that they learn to relate to the people and things." And that is a hell of a quote, man. Between smart people just knowing the answers, intelligent people applying what they know. That was crazy. And we got that in this space. A lot of people smart, you know, they can talk about things, but what are they applying? Because like Art was on the brother's channel last night. He's a beast, man. He got up and did another one today. But seeing that a lot of guys learn a lot of stuff and never apply it to life is scary. You know, even with the aspect of learning, like I tell people, I know how to sew. Am I a girl because I sew? No, I'm a man of many means. A jack of all trade and a master of none. The point of it is, I know how to sew. Guess who's gonna sew my pants when they rip? Me. If I don't have no old lady, I could sew. I could patch a little hole. Especially if they just work pants or something. Even if they good pants, I like them. One of my favorite pair of pants, I could sew them things up and keep it moving. To the point where if you're in a situation to where you don't have a lot of money, clothes are limit, and you rip your pants, guess what? You're gonna need to walk around with a hole in your pants, or you're gonna have to throw them away. And that's limiting the clothes that you wear. You already don't have a lot of money. Hey, what's gonna be your option? Especially if it's ripped in the crotch too. Come on now. Can't be around here showing, like in the words of go professor, call it the dangle. Can't be out here showing your dangle to everybody. But when it come down to it, man, like I'm saying, master, jack of all trades, a master of none. You got to be able to know how to do majority of the things in life. Not saying that I'm a expert even at putting on makeup, but I'm a drawer. So I can draw some eyebrows on a woman's face, some crazy shit, but that don't mean I'm be doing it, you know. But the whole point of it is, I know, I mean, just something simple. Like even with putting on makeup, yeah, I can apply some makeup to a woman's face, but that don't mean I'm good at it. Hey, that's just like painting. Somebody can paint the wall, that don't mean they good at it. But the whole point of it is, it just something. Not saying I'm gonna be out here working at what is it? Ultra Beauty, the place where they put makeup on women's faces. No, that's not my steed. That's not how I get down. That ain't something I want to do. But the point of it is, if they was paying $30 an hour compared to another job, yeah, I give it a try. Is that gonna make me less of a man? Why? Why is it gonna make me less of a man? Because I can go out here and put makeup on a woman's face, make 25, like $50, and let's say $50 an hour, compared to me getting in the truck, doing some hard work, and making $10 an hour. People gonna be like, ah man, that's a look at that man. Look at what he doing. Hey, not gonna make me less of a man. And then on top of that, it might give me a whole bunch of chicks if I wasn't married. So at the end of the day, a lot of guys gotta start opening their mind, man, and stop looking at stuff as being gay, man. Looking not to shame gay people, but just looking at stuff as not being masculine. You know, that's even with fashion. I was going to school for fashion and everything. I wanted to be a designer. We know the whole Trump about some people in the industry, but that's not every man. You know, Partner Nino, he's a designer. Nino been married, did his thing. He's moving around. But the point of it is, hey, fashion. You take it for Puffy, you take Kyle Kanai. I had a moment in time though I could have met the brother. You have a lot of great Esco. I think the Mark was it Mark Echo, Willie Esco, the clothing line. Um, I'm talking about all the good ones besides, the rapper brands besides Puppy, but the rapper brands, uh, you know, and those companies, man, fashion designers, those guys. I mean, look at the Fubu boys. Them boys, man, they made some nice clothes, man. What was going on with them? Well, nobody out here kind of shaming these brothers for making clothes because they were doing it for us by us. That was the style that was to be represented. Like I said, a lot of guys are looking at these jobs as a way of shaming brothers. But if this man is in his masculine, mood, and he just so happened to get into those jobs and make that money, so be it. What's the problem? I got a homeboy. His brother's a secretary. He always tell me how his brother always had those office jobs. For one, he got the office jobs because he could always get to the women, the call center job. A lot of women do call center jobs, but men are getting into those jobs as well because it's easy. You ain't doing a lot of work. All you doing is answering the phone and talking. For a person that likes to talk, man, that's the best job to get into. Know what I'm saying? Dudes on YouTube, a lot of them dudes need to be on there because most of the guys just be talking, get paid. You know, even my thing is I don't like office jobs. What is this dude? Yeah, man, I'm out here waiting on these people, man. I'm just on YouTube, get it. But I don't like sitting at a desk. I like moving around. That's why I didn't go into um the tech, man. My guy's trying to put me into doing the Cisco networking. Excuse me. After I get into a little bit of coding and all that stuff and breaking it down, I can get into that. I've been looking at a little of that stuff now as that'll be a job that I do when I retire, or do I want to go ahead and stay driving these trucks and everything. But the whole point of it is I'm elevating to the point where I'm not gonna be stuck in one place, man. I'm not gonna let um anything that I wanna do stop me because I don't have the knowledge of it. You know, a little goes a long way. I ain't got to be no engineer or basically have a computer science degree or anything like that. Just knowing the ins and outs, I can go within this space and go far if I was to get into something doing with engineering. Because the whole aspect of me not being scared to go out there and get the information and learn, that's the first step. A lot of guys try to skip to the end to win. Take the steps, you know. I had an issue. I was talking with this woman, and she wanted to go into the medical field, and basically, I was telling her there's baby steps. She went and got a degree, and it wasn't paying the money that she wanted, so she went and did something else. And when I asked her, why did you go get the degree? She was like, well, pretty much it didn't really cost me too much or nothing. And I thought the jobs were going to be paying more, but now they ain't paying as they used to. I'm like, okay. And she said, well, in a couple of years, if go into that field in a couple of years, I've been making this money, but who wants to wait that long? And my thing, like I told her, you got to crawl before you walk. Everybody wants to come into a position making $100,000, but nobody wants to be in that position when you're making 40,000 or 20,000 because you think it's beneath you. The brother Walt Diddy, man, came into Walmart. You know, I know he said he ended up having a lower position doing the trucks, or I guess stocking. Stocking, and went from that to being like a district manager. He actually had a vision of putting in the work and staying there and having a big outcome. A lot of guys don't want to do that. Even the whole aspect of dealing with women. You know, get to a point, man, where you're dealing with the women in which things. A woman, she's not going to pretty much try to play the fool of a person that knows something because she knows she can't run game. There's several women I broke down and told them that, what do you think this is? I'm not no dummy. And they always get a he laugh because, like they say, a sucker's born every day. And my grandma always told me, she said, it's two types of fools. There's an old fool and there's a young fool. Majority of the time, those young fools never learn nothing and become old fools. And it's real funny how, a lot of guys, they move into space, they never learn too much, you know, but they want to take the little that they know and be a scholar. And there's nothing wrong with that. But don't try to dance on somebody or trying to shame somebody because they don't know what you know. You teach them, you help them out. That's why I'm doing these whole soap opera titles because I'm trying to get guys to come over here and they are already gonna be mad looking at the title, thinking that it's something crazy. But the whole point of it is get out of here with these games, man. You know, I was on arts panel last night and we was talking about that. These younger generational guys, they want to just take the torch. They don't want to earn it. They don't want to be respected of it. That they put in the work. They just want to take the torch. That's the whole thing with BGS. That's why all these guys want to run up on BGS, try to, stunt him or, you know, give him an aha moment. I got you. Like BGS never quoted on knowing everything, but the whole point, the stuff that he do know, is evidence. He has the proof. He talks about this, you know, and a lot of guys want to come over there to think they can sun him. Come on, man. What are you fighting for? The title? The title of what? The most arrogant guy? The title of I knew something more than BGS? I'm fighting for what? Like, what are we fighting for, man? Get it together. I'm listening. What's going on? You know, and that's the crazy part that I get. The older men have the knowledge, and I want to say some because we're going back to that old fool. You know, they've only learned so much. And I use this reference too with Rael when he referred to one of his friends trying to, fathers trying to get him a job, excuse me, trying to get him a job at a business. And just like trying to get him a job at the city. And just like the young man didn't really try to shame his dad, but at the same time, he letting his dad know you've been working at a job for 40 years, don't have a house, don't have a car, don't have nothing to show. So you want that life for me? Some old people just got to the point where just getting by and living was the thing to be. Not all of them had that mentality to wanted to do better. And seeing that that young man kind of, came at his dad that way, it was because he wanted to do better for his life. You know, who wants to go down the same path of destruction that you already seen someone else go down? It's smarter for you to take a better or a different route, you know, and a lot of people don't notice that. When it comes to that, taking a better or different route can lead you a different outcome. You know, my father did some things to help me advance in life, a little as I grew. He wasn't around. He had systems already in play to where, if I did what I was supposed to do and things were, the way they were, I have a better outcome of life. He put those things in position by going into the military, setting up different life insurance policies and stuff like that to render money to help me. And I'm doing the same thing with with my sons and my daughter. And I do have two stepkids that are my two oldest, and I'm putting stuff aside for them as well. You know, maybe because I'm just a good person. I don't have to set any money aside for my stepkids, but because they're good kids, and the ones that do, you know, show more respect, hey, of course, you're gonna get the most. The least, get the least. Even with my kids, I'm no shame. I'm approach for my own kids. If they pretty much just assholes around me as I'm, here, guess what's gonna happen when I die? Their funds are gonna be limited. You know, like I said, I'm getting in the process to where I'm start updating the trust to where if something happens to me, my kids should be well off to the point where my wife have to not go end up dealing with another man, forcing herself to put herself in a position for someone to take care of her. Like we have these talks in this space about being the man of the house. But when it comes to that point when you're not the man of the house because you're no longer there, because of death, who's preparing for that? When we're doing a budget to budget out things to where the money can be accessible, what's the deal? What are we doing? What position are we putting our kids in? What position are we putting the family in with the wife? And say you divorce, you and your wife divorce. Are you going to allow her to be the the steward over the money if it comes to you having your death, to be the trustee over the kids' money? Or you're going to establish some type of trust to where when they get older, they can only touch the money at 18? You got to think about these things. We're over here on YouTube looking for the jokes, but where's the serious conversations? Where's the conversations when guys are over here talking about money, stocks, getting people invested, Bitcoin, even though it's volatile and it goes up and down, but still knowing how to get in and get out? Where are those conversations being held? Real deal finance, over there with that brother, you know, Alonzo Hall talking about not just only life insurance, talking about a plethora of things. The guy owned a Allstate, and He focused on property insurance. He focused on plenty of insurance for cars, RVs, boats, all that, even life insurance. That was the main thing he got into it with that. Like, come on, where's the brothers over there trying to build with Alonzo Hall? Where's the brothers that's over there trying to, establish the life for their kids? I hear so many guys that have child support that's crying about the child support. How many of these guys are leaving stuff for their kids? How many guys talking about generational wealth? How many guys are over here want to be the next uh, Robert F. Smith? We can be Jordan all day, bounce a ball. We could be Bo Jackson, play two sports, baseball, football. We could be, um, just anybody. A-Rod, I guess, for baseball. Odell Beckham for soccer. Entertainers, Jay-Z. Actors, Idris Elba. But what are the guys that's over here looking at business side and tech? You know, who's out here like Akon taking the money that he's got from the music industry and starting his own digital currency and establishing a bit city? What are the guys that's doing the researching about this farming and everything and trying to get brothers to being the black farmers again? Because we actually went at a downtrend, because we were losing so much money in that industry, man. We were getting pushed out of the industry. It's like 1% now of black farmers in America. And out of all the farmers, that 1%, what, less than what, I think 5,000 or something altogether? Less than 5,000 black farmers? I would even go as to say less than 500, what 1% is. You know, how many of us out here looking towards the future for our kids? That's the crazy. These are the conversations we should be talking about, man. Trying to get the money, trying to build a space. Art is already in position to try to, you know, push the kids in a different direction as far as education. We have the Great Faulkner Initiative with Charles and can't think of Obsidian. We talked about how boys need to be in an all boys environment to where they can learn. Separate them for the girls to stop with all this. I'm in the process of right now trying to put my sons into an all boys military school. They can come home every day, but my whole thing is less interaction, more for the school. As long as they're putting them down the right path, I'm not gonna break the cycle of everything that they learned there and come home and show them how to, shoot craps. Nah. And one of these schools I actually looking at know um the guy that owns the school. I know his brother. So I'm in the process of dealing with this school pretty much overall, and it's black owned, to help in the community. Because I got two young boys. They need to be raised right, you know. Like I tell my sons all the time, they ask people for certain things. I tell them don't ask nobody for nothing. That's where that whole help the bear mentality comes in with me. I tell them if I don't do it, most 9 10 think it's not getting done. You know, I got one of my brothers, man. He pours so much into my boys, man. It's crazy, man. This dude, damn near every birthday, every Christmas, you know, he been there. You know, and I ain't gonna go into the, just naming them and stuff like that, trying to shame my other brothers, but He do what he do. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gotta be asked. It just he already know that this is the next generation of our family. And that's what he said. That, they the bloodline. Those are the men that are gonna be the bloodline for the next generation. You know, he said to the extent to where if we not out here within our own family having, young men coming up, these are gonna be the only guys that's gonna take on the last name, the bloodline. So we gotta put them in a, position of high regard. And I respect them for saying that and I respect them for being there for them, you know. But like I told them, at any given time, I still gotta go out there and get it done. I'm not depending on him. I'm not depending on anybody. But with him saying that, there's still good encouraging words that I'm not fighting the fight alone. If anything comes down, you know, I got a little help, but the point of it is I'm not seeking for help, you know, not too proud to ask, not too prideful to beg, when it comes down to it. And that gets a lot of people, man, with this whole aspect of, proud to ask people for help as if you're begging. Nah, you need help, you need help. But the whole point of it is don't put yourself in position to, kind of be at this mercy every single time. This should be like a every blue moon thing, occurrence that you have to, seek help or seek some type of guidance because, well, not even just the guidance, but the help. The guidance is always going to be there. You should always be seeking guidance. You should always be, you know, seeking people that know knowledge, you know. Might go ahead and end this and crank one up a little later. But from the aspect of, man, in the words of Go Professor, man, we gotta do something. I'm actually gonna get him come on my channel and break down the 9 laws of self-government because, you know, rule number one is discipline. If we don't have the discipline to do certain things for our life, we have nothing, and we gon'